Hello, everybody. Let me just introduce myself real quick. My name is Oleg, and I am Jenny's husband. And I had some thoughts that I wanted to share and give a piece of my mind, and she was willing to share her channel with that. So, with everything's going on with Snow White and everything else, I just wanted to share something that I saw recently on different channels, but really got me too, and I want to share what I think. So let's hear what she's saying here.
She's banned from seeing certain children's movies, right?
Yeah.
What are they?
Cinderella, banned, because, she waits around for a rich guy to rescue her. Don't rescue yourself, obviously.
Well, my thoughts on that, and I'll get back to it. She is get rescued, but it's a little bit more different and complicated. But let's finish listening to what else they're saying, and then I'll go back with everything else.
Right.
And this is the one that I'm quite annoyed about because I really like the film, but Little Mermaid. I mean, the songs are great, but do not give your voice up for a man. Hello. Wow. Oh, so yes. Those were. So but the problem with the Little Mermaid. I love the Little Mermaid, so I'm having that.
All right. So that's one of them, and obviously everybody heard all the news about Rachel and how she's about new Snow White, how she goes about they don't need a prince, she doesn't need to be rescued and stuff like that. So I just want to kind of start from the beginning. It's my thoughts, my peace of mind, and that's what I think. If you don't like it, oh well. But starting from the first movie, the Snow White, not for nothing, but the prince in that one, as much as Richard Zander saying oh yeah, she's there, don't need a prince. He's stalking her, which is dumb. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. He's not stalking her. He's in the beginning singing with her, and then you see him at the end, and that's it. But if you think Snow White is kind of a tough, hardcore, she went through the dark forest, survived. Yes, it's a fairy tale, so she didn't really encounter any dangerous animals, but still, she went through. Then she bossed around all the 7 dwarfs who were supposed to basically be magical creatures or whatever they are, and older and wiser, but they kind of do what she tells them. She bossed around all the animals to make clean old house when she didn't even clean. Basically, I think you see her dust a little bit, and then she cooks, and she makes them do everything else. They can't even eat without washing their hands, which they never done apparently, because when they saw the water, they didn't even know what the hell that is. They couldn't even touch the water. They're like, oh, what is that? But nevertheless. So yeah, and then she get tricked. And somebody who in love with her kind of brings her back to life. So wouldn't call that stalking. Maybe kind of waking her up. Yeah, maybe rescuing in a way. But the movie made in different times, different eras and stuff. And to change the classics, I think it's dumb. Second follow movie, which I think nobody really talking about, that one is actually more, you can maybe somebody say something, because in the Sleeping Beauty, which was was a follow movie after Snow White, the Aurora actually doesn't do anything. When she was born, they took her away to the forest, she grew up on her own, then she goes back, get pricked, falls asleep, and Prince actually rescued her. So, but nobody actually mentioned that movie for some reason, but yeah. But even then, movie was made for certain times, for certain days, and it's actually one of my favorite, because I love the songs in there, and music and everything. Then we go to Cinderella, Carrie here brings it up, and she says she's being rescued, which is also dumb. She's being enslaved by her stepmother and a stepsister, and she was basically a slave for them, and all she wanted to do is go to the ball, not to see the prince, not to be with the prince, but to go onto the ball. That's all her dream, which she got. And if you watch actually cartoon, when she goes to the ball, she does not see the prince. All she sees is how beautiful is the palace, how beautiful the ball and everything. He seeks her out. He sees her and comes to her and gets her attention, and then they fall in love, and so on and so on. But yeah, she's not really being rescued. Or maybe I think he helped her. He brought the slippery, but he wasn't there. As far as I remember, I think it was his servants and who was looking for her and stuff. So he's not even there to save her, to rescue her. So it's kind of dumb, like, you know. And on top of that, she rescued herself. She put the magical slipper back on because Adam was broken and kind of saved her. So I don't know. It's kind of dumb, picking and stuff like that. Little Mermaid, I think it's one of the, like, you know, my wife's favorite cartoons. Not mine, but it's about love, loyalty, dedication, and not for nothing, it would open up the era for Renaissance era for the cartoons, and it was one of the first one. And as much as some can argue she gives a voice to for a man, but maybe she give her voice to have her feet. My opinion, she was kind of spoiled. I don't think she was, like, you know, she was a princess and undersea, and she wants more and more. But whatever, you know, some people want some different things, and did give her. But at the end of the day, they were together fighting her at the end of the movie. They together overcame. Even the prince, he sacrificed himself. He wasn't a mermaid. He didn't know how to breathe underwater, but he's jumped there just to save her. I think what that movie can show is loyalty, love, and dedication to somebody who you love and to be with, that you want, willing to sacrifice yourself for that person, which is, I think, any of us want to be, anybody want to have somebody like that in their life who would do that no matter what. And it doesn't matter if you want to say a male, female, anybody, whoever, it's just we want somebody in our life like that. So, you know, the next one, if I remember, like with the princesses, we'll go with that, is Aladdin. And again, Jasmine wasn't really like a like a helpless girl, helpless princess. She bossed around, like, you know, if you take the era of that country in Islamic culture, if the father said you will marry, even I think these days, if it's in Islamic countries, if the father say you will marry somebody, they kind of have to. But they show different. She's independent, she's strong, she's fighting all the princes and all the suitors. They're coming out with the ripped pants because the tiger bites them and stuff, and it's all fine. And only when Aladdin earns her love and earns her love, proves it to her. Not she has to do it, but not save her, but he earns her love. When they fall in love, then she accepts him and willing to marry him. And then they fight together, and then he helps her, and yet he's a hero, but still. Again, so you can go on, like, you know, and obviously, I don't remember which video I was watching. I think it was Sydney. Always invites everybody to hell, but she broke down a lot of cartoons, a lot of those movies, and she talks about it. Each one of them was made in their own era for the need of the society, sorta. I don't remember exactly what she's saying, but I know now people changing. But when they stuffing it in your throat, pushing it and changing everything just for some kind of woke agenda that makes no sense, that people who are dwarves who call themselves dwarves, want to play those roles. They took away and made it magical creatures, which has nothing to do with anything. Apparently, Snow White doesn't need a prince. How's she gonna get a walking if she doesn't fall asleep? Are they gonna change everything completely? Like, then make the different. It's not Snow White then. It makes no sense. Everything is changing. Like, you know, and she's talking about like she never watched it. She doesn't want it. She said she doesn't like it. She didn't like the movie. Why be in it? Why change everything and just like calling it stuff? You disgrace. I can understand. I know people already talk about it like that, but to me, it just blows my mind how she can be talking about like that. This cartoon who was a class who opened the era of animated movies technique in Disney, and she says, "Oh, we're gonna change it." Yes, it was 30s. But if you're making a classic, if you want to remake it, that's the word, is remake it. You're remaking it. What was made, you're making it. You're not. If you want something different, make something different. There was plenty with different ideas and different cultures, and everything was made in Disney. And a lot of people loved it. I loved it. But now this one specifically, they're changing it and they want to do something, I don't know what. Dwarfs don't look like it, not even dwarfs, obviously. It's magical. Prince, there's no prince. They doesn't need them. She doesn't need them. She wants to be independent, but she wants to be a different. Jen brought up a good point that they're making heroes women basically as they were villains women in back then. Evil Queen in Snow White. What does she want to be? She wants to be powerful, most beautiful, independent, and alone, and doesn't care about nobody else. It doesn't need anybody else. And that's what Rachel's saying Snow White needs right now. So she's going to be independent, alone, and fairest. What is to be fairest? Fairest means white. Beautiful. And Snow White comes for the word white. Because her skin is as white as snow. So, and she's saying now fairest is about being fair and not most beautiful. Well, then it can be anybody. Are you are most fairest? It's like they're changing all idea of even that. It makes no sense whatsoever. Like, I don't know where they're going with it. And it's just ridiculous. They need to stop. And if you stick to classics, made as it is. And I have a lot more stuff to say about these things like that, but I'll just stop for now and make another video about something else or continue. So take care, everybody, and please like and subscribe.